Broken Chains Warriors, what's up guys? Coach Nate here. Hey guys, this video is for all of the competitors in our Nutrition Habit Kickstart for 2023. This specific video is going to be for those of you who have never received any kind of instruction on proportions of how you should eat. You've never really been able to stick to a plan before. Maybe you've followed some kind of fad diets where only meat or South Beach diet or something like that. And maybe you've had mixed results with those kinds of things, but nothing that's really stuck. Today, I'm gonna be sharing with you just the overview of the day one stuff that we teach everybody who comes through our door in our Foundations program. Some people will opt in for the nutrition piece. If you never received that before, we still offer it here at the box. We teach it here. And you can make use of that. Today, I'm just gonna give you the highlights. I'm gonna show you how the diet works. It is called the Zone Diet. You guys can look it up. You can do research online. There's thousands of YouTube videos out there, but the Zone Diet is kind of what CrossFit has hitched its wagon to from the very beginning. And the reason is that the Zone Diet deals with what we're looking for is called hormonal balance. Whenever you consume food, your body responds with a hormonal response based on the protein, carbohydrates, and fats that you eat. Okay, so what we're trying to achieve is hormonal balance, where when you are balanced, when you're eating fuel in the proper proportions, you have clarity of thought, your body functions more effectively and efficiently. You recover from workouts faster. If you are carrying around extra body fat, it will start coming off, provided that you, in addition to being on this nutrition plan, you are also putting in the work. You're doing some training. You're doing CrossFit, 4 to 6 times a week, active recovery, those kinds of things. So those are that's the reason that the Zone Diet and CrossFit have always gone together from the very beginning. So let's jump into it, guys. Again, this is just the basics. There's a lot more information out there. You can read the book. It's called Enter the Zone by Dr. Barry Sears. Okay? So again, like I said, we're looking for hormonal balance. When you consume protein, carbohydrates, and fat, you want to imagine this like a teeter-totter. And when you're consuming them in the proper proportions, which is approximately 30% protein, 40% carbohydrates, and 30% fat, we're getting that balance beam of what we're aiming to achieve, that hormonal balance that has us operating at our highest level, okay? So I never like to pretend that everybody understands what a protein, carb, and fat is. So real quick, we're just gonna go over these. Protein, carbs, fat, okay? Protein, your protein sources are, all of your meat sources, those things that you can slaughter with the spear, living things that you can kill, slaughter, put on the grill, and eat. So we're talking about things like steak, chicken, pork, fish, protein powder, eggs, those kinds of things. Those kind of make up the basis of all the various types of proteins, and there's thousands of them out there. So choose your source. The leaner those sources are, the better they tend to be. So rather than opting for the fatty ribeye steak, having the more lean filet cut will tend to be better for you. Grass-fed versions are going to be better than the factory farmed kind of versions that you find at Walmart. But we'll take wherever you can start in terms of quality, but that is protein. Let's talk about carbohydrates. Whenever I ask athletes, what are carbohydrates? They always rattle off the first things are bread, pasta, rice, those kinds of things. Those are the things that come to mind. And yes, that's true. Bread, pasta, rice, all these things that we tend to crave at dinner time, right? But also, this is the most important stuff, and it's something we're going to focus on during this challenge. Your vegetables, your veggies, and your fruits. Okay? Those are going to be the primary sources that we're really going to focus on over this next 5-week period in this challenge, okay? Fruits and vegetables, those should be the massive staples of your diet rather than the more processed versions, the bread, the pasta, the rice, and the evil of all evils, sugar, okay? processed sugar, processed foods, the stuff that's in the middle aisles of all the grocery stores, the stuff that never goes bad, the stuff that cockroaches won't eat, right? Those are the things that are the biggest contributors to obesity and poor health conditions in our society, right? Those are the things that the Western diet is synonymous with, okay? So our big focus in this thing is to focus on most of our carbohydrate intake should be coming from fruits and vegetables, okay? And then lastly, fats. Fats are going to be things like nuts and seeds, peanuts, cashews, sunflower seeds, macadamia nuts, all those kinds of things. The great things about those is they travel well. You can put them in a baggie and put them in your center console, and if you ever get hungry, you can eat. You know, you have something that's healthy and quickly available to you. Okay, so nuts and seeds. You also have things like olive oil, avocado, butter, okay? Your creamers, things like that. Those are where most of your fat sources are going to be coming from, right? So we got protein, carbs, and fat, okay? And in the Zone diet, we use a thing, rather than counting calories in the Zone diet, we count blocks. So let me show you what this looks like. A block of protein is approximately 7 grams. 7 grams of steak, chicken, pork, fish, whatever it may be. Carbohydrates, one block of carbohydrates is about 9 grams, okay, of your fruits and vegetables, your breads, pastas, those kinds of things. And then lastly, for your fats, nuts and seeds, those kind of things, one block is 1.5 grams. And you might be thinking, man, that's a really low number. That number is low intentionally because in a lot of our protein sources, our animal fats are also built into that. So chicken has fat in it, right? Your steaks, your hamburger meat, those kinds of things have fat that are in the meat, right? So this number is so low because you're getting some extra fat in your protein as well. All right? So what is a block? A block is simply a unit of measure used to simplify the process of making balanced meals. So let's talk about how this diet works. We'll plan a couple of meals together real quick. So you're going to get this list, guys. Everybody in the challenge is going to get this. All you need to do, this is real simple. You're going to find your approximate body type, which are all listed right here, right? And it's going to give you a block prescription throughout the day. So I'll use myself for an example. I'm running down the list here, and I'm going to find myself as, I'll call myself a medium male, which means I'm 17 blocks per day, okay? And what that means is breakfast, lunch, and dinner for me are 5-block meals, and then I get 2 1-block snacks throughout the day as well. So let's see what this looks like in application. Again, guys, I'm just giving you the overview on how this thing works, right? There's a whole lot more details that you can learn on your own or sign up for my nutrition overview course that we teach here at the gym as well, okay? So I'm gonna make myself breakfast, and then I'll make myself lunch, and then we'll close this video out because it's getting long-winded now. All right, so I get 17 blocks a day. That means my breakfast, lunch, and dinner are 5-block meals. I flip the page. On the next page, everything on that far left column is the favorable proteins that we're focusing on. The middle 2 columns are our favorable carbohydrates, and the far right column are all the favorable fats. When you flip the page one more time, you'll find all of the less favorable carbohydrate sources. These are things that you can eat. You just really need to pay attention to the quantities, the sizes of these things, okay, when you're putting them on your plate. So here's how it works, guys. I'm going to make breakfast. This is really easy. You'll see how simple it is. I'm going to start with protein, carbs, and fat. I get 5 blocks of each one of these macronutrients, right? So starting out with breakfast, I like eggs. So I'm going to find my egg. 1 large egg is 1 block. So I'm going to have 5 scrambled eggs. Easy day. I can make them any way that I like to. 5 scrambled eggs. That's my protein source for breakfast. Okay? And then I'm going to mix it up here with some carbohydrates. So I'm going to run through here and find a few things that I might like to eat. I like blackberries. So a half a cup. I'll do 2 blocks of blackberries. So I'll do 1 cup. 1 cup of blackberries. That gets me 2. I need 3 more. Okay? So I'm looking for some other things that I like. Let's go strawberries. I love strawberries. So 1 cup of strawberries, it's on the list here, is 1 block. So I still got 3 left. So I'm going to do 3 cups of strawberries. Okay? So that gets me to my 5 block carbohydrates. So now I got the balance beam going on here with protein and carbs. Now I just need to add some fat. Fat is necessary. You need fat in your diet. It makes your meals feel more fulfilling. It makes you feel full, and it slows down the digestion rate of the food that you're eating, so it lasts for longer. Okay, so I'm going over here. I'm going to find some fat. I like peanut butter, and I'm just going to make this real simple. Peanut butter is 1/2 teaspoon, so I'm just going to go ahead and load up. I'm going to do all 5 blocks. So 2 is 1, so that means I get 2.5 teaspoons. 2.5 teaspoons of peanut butter. Okay, that's my breakfast. Real simple. Okay, we'll do the same thing for lunch here. I'm going to show you guys how big lunch can be. Check this out. So I want to make myself a salad for lunch. So I'm going to go on here and I'm going to find, let's do iceberg lettuce. 1 head of iceberg lettuce is 1 block. Okay, so I'm sorry, that's my carbohydrate. Let's start with the protein. Here's what I'm going to put for protein on my salad. I like salmon, so let me find salmon. Salmon is 1.5 ounces. So if you multiply that by 5 blocks, that means I get 7.5 ounces of salmon. I'm going to grill that sucker and I'm going to put it on top of my salad. Now, for the salad, we already said 1 head of iceberg lettuce. So I get a head of lettuce. Okay, that's 1 block. Let's keep going. I want to add, let's do tomato. Let's do a cup of tomatoes. 1 cup of tomatoes. Okay, that gets me 2 blocks. Keep going. I'm going to do onions. Let's do 1/2 cup of onions. That's another block. That's 3. Keep going. Broccoli. Oh, check this out. Broccoli, 1.25 cup. 1.25 cup of broccoli. That's 4. Last one. I'm going to go, let's see, cucumber. It says a 9-inch cucumber, 1 9-inch cucumber. Bam! Look how big that salad is. 1 9-inch cucumber. That's a massive salad now with a big old piece of fish on top of it. And for the fat, check this out. Here's what I'm going to do for my fat. I'm going to take my olive oil. Olive oil is 1/3 teaspoon. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and fill it up. I'm going to do 5 teaspoons, or 5 times 1/3. So that will be 1 2/3. 1 2/3 teaspoons of olive oil. I'm going to take that olive oil, I'm going to squeeze a lemon inside of a little container, and I'm going to put some spices in it as well. No sugar, spices. I put some Greek seasoning in there. I'm going to shake it up, and I'm going to pour that on top of my massive salad. This is a big salad, guys, and it's perfectly balanced, protein, carbs, and fat, right? Now, if I flip over to the other page, like if I were going to make dinner and I wanted to, kind of get off the rails a little bit, right? Here's where I could start with a steak. I might start with a filet or something like that. Put that filet with some pasta or some rice. This on the second page is where you're going to find all your breads, rices, and pastas, the less favorable things. So if you look at rice, 3 tablespoons of uncooked rice is 1 block, right? So it's only going to look like that, but when you put it in the water and it blows up, if I were to do 5 blocks, it would probably look about like that on my plate, So that's how that works. Now, you're seeing all of the measurements here. I encourage all of you to break out a scale and start measuring your food just for a little while. Don't do it forever, right? But do it for a week or 2 just to challenge yourself and dial in your eyeball. So you can start figuring out, what does 5 blocks of chicken breast look like on a plate? In general terms, and if you are out at dinner, you're eating out, this is what your dinner plate should look like. Okay? The size of your closed fist. Okay? The thickness and the width, the diameter of that closed fist is about what your protein should look like. Right? So there's my protein. 1 closed fist size. Okay? The size of your open palm should be about the size of your carbohydrates, your fruits and vegetables, okay? We're gonna stay away, for the most part, from the processed stuff, okay? So carbohydrates should take up a lot of real estate on your plate. But again, if we're talking about spinach, iceberg lettuce, broccoli, those kinds of things, right? They should take up that much space. They're low calorie, high fiber, full of nutrients. So you want that. And then lastly, what fits into the little sliver in your palm, if you were to cup your palm, that's what your fat should look like. So that fat might look like this. It's a small little sliver. So I got my protein, carbs, and fat. Fist, open palm, sliver inside the little gooch of your hand, okay? That's what your dinner plate should look like. All right, guys, I know that was fast, 15-minute video. I hope it's helpful for you guys. Come and let me know if you have any questions.